Hello, good evening. This is News Update on E. I am Sefa, Danquah. Now let's start the news from Ghana, where Ghana is projected to spend 128.3 billion Ghana cedis. This will make up 25.8% of the country's gross domestic product. This means an increase of by almost 13% relative to the 113 billion cedi expenditure in 2021. Government intends to raise over 89 billion Ghana cedis as revenue for 2022. The Ministry of Finance has noted that for the second time in a row, interest payments are expected to be higher than compensation of employees. Additionally, compensation of employees is expected to increase from 31.5 billion Ghana cedis to 34.6 billion Ghana cedis in 2022. Interest payment and compensation of employees for decades have been the two main components of government's annual expenditure, accounting for a little over 58% expenditure in 2021. Now to Parliament, where the majority caucus in Parliament has described as troubling Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagwin's refusal to release Medina MP Francis Javier Susu to the police for interrogation. Mr. Susu is alleged to have blocked a highway and destroyed public property during a demonstration. According to the police, they have since charged and arraigned him. The MP is expected to appear before the court on November 8, 2021, although the spokesperson for the MP insists no court sermons have been served. In a press release, the majority caucus criticized the Speaker for refusing to release the MP for interrogation. The group says the Speaker's handling of the request is a departure from how his predecessors handled such requests. To some African news, where Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni has called an East African Bloc leaders meeting on November 16th to discuss the conflict in Ethiopia. According to a senior Foreign Affairs Ministry official, President Museveni is in touch with Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy on the ongoing situation in Ethiopia and has expressed concern at the refusal by the Tigray group to engage in negotiations and reach a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has pledged to bury his government enemies as he marked the start of the war in the Tigray region 1 year ago. Abiy, who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019, was speaking a day after a state of emergency was declared in the country, with the Tigrayan forces threatening to advance onto the capital, Addis Ababa. Now, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, the United States and Britain have called for the restoration of Sudan's civilian-led government in the latest show of international pressure to reverse a military coup. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok has been under house arrest in the capital, Khartoum, since being toppled on October 25 by military chief General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan in a coup that derailed a transition to civilian rule and led to a Western aid freeze. The joint statement is the first in which the UAE and Saudi Arabia, both regarded by regional analysts as possible backers of Burhan, have called for the restoration of the civilian-led government to return to power sharing. They and the two Western powers called for the release of political detainees, end of state of emergency, and commitment to genuine civil-military partnership during the transition to elections. Finally, Britain has become the first country in the world to approve a potentially game-changing COVID-19 antiviral pill jointly developed by Merck and Ridgeback Biotherapeutics in a boost to fight against the pandemic. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency recommended the drug be used as soon as possible following a positive COVID-19 test within 5 days of the onset of symptoms. This is the first oral antiviral treatment for COVID-19 to get approved, with the green light coming ahead of potential U.S. regulatory clearance. U.S. advisors will meet this month to vote on whether the drug should be authorized. The drug, to be branded Lagvario in Britain, has been closely watched since data last month showed it could have the chances of dying or being hospitalized for those most at risk of developing severe COVID-19 when given early. Now that's it for the news update on E. I am Sefa, Danquah.